This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. The University of Southern Indiana Board of Trustees on Wednesday unanimously approved Steve Bridges as the university's fifth president. Bridges, a two-time alumnus of the university, has served as interim president of USI since last June, following the departure of former president Ronald Rochon. Trustee Ron Romaine emphasized his endorsement of Bridges during a special meeting of the board.
I've worked with Steve for a number of years on the board, and to see the work that he's done as a member of the university team, it's been such high quality work, and his commitment and love for the university is just visible to me every time I interact with him. So I'm very, very happy with the selection of Steve and fully endorse him.
Bridges joined the university in 1989 as a staff accountant and most recently served as vice president for finance and administration. Indianapolis city officials are starting to consider options for the redevelopment of the former Indiana Women's Prison on the city's Near East Side. The Metropolitan Development Commission on Wednesday gave unanimous approval to a $10,000 contract that will see the city collaborate with the Indianapolis office of the Urban Land Institute to cultivate ideas for the 15-acre property. A beef cattle farm in Du Bois County says it is the first in the country to receive a key certification related to the use of antibiotics in livestock farming. Fisher Farms recently earned the Certified Responsible Antibiotic Use certification from the Antibiotic Resistance Action Center at the George Washington University. The farm said the standards used to award the certification are intended to preserve the efficacy of antibiotics for when they're needed to treat medically sick animals and humans. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Approaching its 125th anniversary in 2027, Elkhart Brass manufactures firefighting and fire protection equipment and is known for designing and producing innovative water delivery systems. In a Q&A for our South Bend Elkhart Region Report newsletter, Divisional Vice President of Marketing Chris Martin said innovation has been key to the company's longevity.
If you look back over 123-year history, there's been a lot of industry firsts, we would say, in the firefighting world, that we were the first to bring to market, right? Whether it's a shutoff for a nozzle, this is a very simple kind of thing to turn your water on and off in the 1920s, to integrating electronics into that, where now some of these nozzles are remotely operated. So coming up with innovations like that over the years have definitely contributed to being able to stick around. Because if you don't innovate and you don't come out with new products, you're not going to last for a long time.
You can read the full Q&A at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. The Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District hopes to open its new branch of the South Shore Line to Dyer in late August or early September. President Mike Nolan says the contractor's current schedule calls for the Westlake Corridor to be complete around October 31st, but he told the district's board this week that his staff continues to work with contractors to improve that. Nolan said construction on the Westlake Corridor is about 96% complete, but the most complex work is at the end. The $945 million project brings the South Shore Line from Gary about 8 miles south to Dyer, with several stops along the way. Goodwill of Central and Southern Indiana CEO Kent Kramer is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.